Ancestry recently removed some features of AncestryDNA for a certain group of users. I'm going to show you what those features are, who this change affects, and how you can get those features back. There are a lot of reasons for taking an AncestryDNA test. And if you've taken one in the hopes of finding genetic cousins or trying to identify a birth family, these changes could really impact your research efforts. If you've taken an AncestryDNA test and you don't currently have an Ancestry subscription, you have lost access to the Ancestry traits, what Ancestry calls side view, the DNA chromosome painter, and the ability to see the full tree of your matches. More on that subscription requirement in just a minute. Ancestry traits is the section that tells you how likely you are to not like cilantro or to be lactose intolerant. Kind of fun, but not exactly genealogically useful. It's the loss of the other features that could really impact your genealogy efforts. Side view is where Ancestry takes a look at your DNA and figures out how much of your ethnicity comes from each parent. It also allows you to sort your matches by parent. This is huge when you're trying to sort matches, especially when you're trying to focus on one part of your tree. I use the Sort Matches by Parent feature as I've been trying to help an adoptee. We've already identified her birth mother, and now we're trying to identify her birth father. Having the Sort Matches by Parent feature really helps us narrow down on the matches that we need to look at. If you don't currently have an Ancestry subscription, you've also lost the ability to see the full tree of your matches. I use this feature all the time. I can't imagine trying to work with my DNA matches without it. Let's be clear on who is losing these features. It's people who have taken an AncestryDNA test and do not have an Ancestry subscription. If you have an Ancestry subscription, the kind where you can get access to records, you're fine. You haven't lost any of these AncestryDNA features. But if you don't have an Ancestry subscription, there's actually a new option for you. Ancestry now offers an AncestryDNA Plus membership, which gives you all of the DNA features. No records, but you get to use all of the DNA tools. It appears that the AncestryDNA Plus membership gives you access to those tools for all of the kits that you might be managing. So you don't have to have a separate membership for each kit. Speaking of managing kits, you might be wondering, what if I'm managing someone else's kit? They have an Ancestry subscription, but I don't. Do I still have access to the DNA tools? Good question, but no. Access to the DNA tools depends upon your account, not the account of the person who owns that kit. So if Cousin Bob has a full Ancestry subscription and he's added you as a manager to his DNA kit, but you don't have an Ancestry subscription, you still don't have access to the tools. Again, it depends upon your account. And to be perfectly clear, if you already have an Ancestry subscription, you do not need the AncestryDNA Plus membership. Access to the DNA tools is already included in that Ancestry subscription. Losing these DNA features can be frustrating. Kind of like when you send a message to a DNA match and they don't respond. Check out this video that explains why that happens and, more importantly, what you can do to increase the odds of getting a response. Check that out and make some great discoveries in your family tree.